When you think of the name Superman, a lot of different things come to mind depending on the person. To some, he's a symbol of hope. To others, he is a boring character. To others still, he's the greatest superhero to ever exist. But the most prevalent idea I have seen is that he is a two-dimensional, flat character. And that is the notion I completely and 100% disagree with, because he's a more complex character than people give it credit for. Why is this idea so prevalent? I'm not going to sit here and tell you it's because of Snyder's movies or some dumb shit like that. You want to know the real problem? You want to know the real misconceptions with Superman? Well, sit down and buckle up, buddy, because I'm going to blast you with some facts. So what's the problem with Superman? I'm not gonna beat around the bush or lead you on, because honestly, I don't think I have the energy to do that. It's quite simply the way people treat Superman's alien heritage. Because Superman is a inherently hopeful and optimistic character, they believe that somehow that must mean he must also disregard his alien heritage. Like him being an alien conflicts with the idea of him being hopeful somehow. Generally, I think that we as a community should eventually have a discussion about the inherent strangeness of the application of inherent nobility towards humans, especially in works of art that have other forms of sentient life in them. But until such a time, we should probably discuss why it's bad for Superman specifically. Superman, it was created by Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster, two second-generation Jewish immigrants. He was created for, one, creating a fictional champion of the oppressed that would fight for the people who need it. Two, as in kind of reclamation of the idea of the Superman from the Nazis. And three, as an allegory for Siegel and Schuster's experiences. That's what the alien heritage represents. That is, so to try and pretend that doesn't matter, to try and write it off as just an explanation of his powers, it's like trying to write off those very experiences. So why do people default to this reaction? Why do people just jump to, oh, it doesn't matter that he came from Krypton, he's human, he shouldn't care about Krypton, blah, 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 blah. Why? Well, as I mentioned before, there is an innate sort of default standard to jump to humanity equals nobility, and because so, if he does not consider himself only human, then he is somehow lesser for it. But it's more than just that. People associate being alien with being distant or or detached. That's why, for some ungodly reason, people refer to the Snyder movies as Superman being quote-unquote too alien. For one, it's not.
Krypton had its chance!
For a second, why are we associating Superman being angsty with being alien? What is the inherent correlation there? Why do we correlate Superman caring about Krypton with, oh, he's just angsty and hates everyone, I guess? I don't know. Some of these criticisms are frankly ridiculous and don't even pay attention to the content of what they're criticizing, but I digress. And on that end, don't associate this as me praising the Snyder movies either. They're again,
Krypton had its chance!
let me get this clear. I don't like these movies. And the less said about their fan base, the better. But if I had to tell you that the fans of these movies spread that Superman fans are afraid of any conflict whatsoever, it doesn't hold a shred of truth, I'd be lying to your face. A word I think that comic fans need to learn is overcorrection, because boy, do you do it a lot. because of certain times Superman has been written as, some might say, overly edgy or angsty in the past, people overcorrect to try and write him as without any conflict, or without any, well, edge at all, to begin with, and that includes erasing his alien heritage. Is that where it ends? No. This has been going on since the 80s, so it's obviously more than that. It's partially because of that association with humanity, with nobility, but the main reason it is now is because people associate it being alien with edginess, with him being angsty or whatever. Like, Superman is brooding, but it's more of an introspective melancholy brewing. It's not a brooding. It's not the Batman, he sits in the fucking shadows and mourns his dead parents. Well, it's not the same thing as a character like Batman, obviously. But is still kind of a brooding character in a way. He's just more of a lonely brooding rather than a traumatized brooding. But him caring about Krypton does not make him angsty or edgy. It's incredibly simple. I don't get why you fucks can't get that through your head. Despite everything, the argument that Superman should be a two-dimensional blank slate fucking piece of cardboard whose only personality trait is being outwardly bright and never had personal struggle and doesn't care about the literal planet he came from, and the people who think that he should be overtly angsty and overtly angsty and super edgy are two sides of the same coin. It is the same argument with the same foundational principles with two different conclusions. This argument being that somehow Superman being overtly bright conflicts with the inherent idea of him having personal struggles. It doesn't. It really fucking doesn't. And somehow, some people take it even further, and this is mainly because of that weird-ass thing people have, where people think that humanity equals nobility. Because of that, they think that, oh, if he's an alien, then surely he can't be outwardly bright and optimistic. Surely he can't be a good person. Which is, okay, I want you to examine this for a second. Why is someone coming from a different culture from you and caring about that culture make them lesser than you? Or less noble? Can we examine that for a second? Because I swear to you, that's the fucking reason. That's just all it is. There's just some inherent... we just don't examine it because obviously there's never been an alien culture found in real life. So we just never kind of interrogate the inherent... I'm not saying that all stories like this are all based on that foundational principle, but you have to realize it's a little odd, and it does, and in quite a few stories it is misfitting, and it is misfitting with Superman, where Superman, Krypton, it's supposed to be an allegory for fucking immigrant experiences, and that's fine. Why do we need to change that? Why is that fine? This should add. This is only additive. This is only additive. You cannot complain that people don't find Superman engaging when your main desire for Superman is for have his major character themes and arcs cut out. You want to cut out his loneliness. You want to cut out his immigrant allegory, and then you have the gall to complain that people find him boring. Do you not think that's a little, like, I'm not gonna pretend like every argument on like, why Superman is boring has been based on this. Most of this is just random bullshit that nobody, that people are just kind of making up to justify why they think he's boring, because let's be clear, how can you watch anything in Superman and think, oh yeah, it's his villains not being powerful enough to pose a threat that's a problem. That's like never been a problem in any of this fucking shit. It's never been a problem. It's never been a problem. But my point is, the reason we got here in the first place is because some fuck named John Byrne decided to eliminate two of his major core character conflicts. Arguably the entire major core character conflicts. Do you not see the problem? Like, obviously, not everyone who thinks Superman is boring is going to cite these reasons. Most of them are just going along with the flow and just regurgitating things they hear online and making up things after the fact to justify why those things are online. It's what I think, because I should know, because I was one of those people. When I was younger, like, this was years ago, I said that Superman was boring because he's too powerful or whatever, and I was bullshitting because I didn't know shit. It's what I think of every time someone regurgitates take, but we are not going to disprove that take with, yeah, he should have no character conflict. Are you serious? That is not going to convince anyone. And it's not going to, it probably, if anything's the source of this take, if there's ever legitimate criticism of the character, it probably came from that. It probably came from that. You're not going to convince people with that. But beyond that, if all of that doesn't mean anything to you, you want to know what stories keep his loneliness and immigrant allegory in mind? Superman Birthright. All-Star Superman. Superman smashes the Klan. I don't get why this is such a hard thing to consider. Like, it's a major part of his stories, yet people are just trying to write it off whenever the chance. Obviously, a lot of people just don't read comics, and this is like, you know that. But, like, I don't know. Superman is one of the best characters out there. He's way more complex than people are led on to believe. Yet, people would just try and write that off because, well, they think that the bright, optimistic guy can't have anything more deeper to him. I guess I don't know why, but I guess people are just like that. I suppose. I guess they're just attracted to the edgy aesthetics of Batman, and think that that's what gives him his complexity, when it's not. It really isn't. Yeah, hey all. Sorry about this long wait. I've been trying to get this bit of ball rolling, but it just took a bit of time rolling up there. Once the ball got rolling, I was on fire. It was fine though. But yeah, this was a video I wanted to make for a while, and I think it's the way I don't think people have quite summarized the whole Superman is boring discourses, because I just don't think people have approached it with like actual nuance, and people just surprisingly just fall into like two or three categories, and it doesn't work. It doesn't work at all. And people never really try and like actually engage with the themes of Superman's stories, which is unfortunate because, well, they're some of the best out there. But I digress. I'll see you all again. I don't know what I'm doing next. I'm not sure if I want to keep that Flash video for another time, but yeah, I hope you enjoyed this one. I definitely pissed someone off with this, but so give your boy a like so he can fend off those mad. I don't even know who I made mad at this point. Probably John Bryan fans, but your goat's a so that's the biggest L you can take. Addition and post, if any of my viewers play the Mario and Luigi RPG series, I'd really appreciate you going to my community tab and filling out a poll Google form that I linked there. It's for a future video, and I would really appreciate as many subjects as possible. But see ya!